All right, y'all. I'm going to talk about something that I don't really want to talk about, but I feel like it could help somebody. So that's why we're here, right? We're all learning. And this is a really confusing lesson for me. I felt like the big boss of my very eclectic love life, love history. We're going to go with eclectic. Yes, we're going to stick with that word. I thought I was in love with a twin flame, which I didn't even know what that was. But some weird things started happening with this person that started making me like ask questions like, what else is going on? Like, there's stuff going on besides like 3D, like stuff can happen like energetically. And this person was like in another country, like at least 2,000 miles away, so it was pretty interesting. Oh my god, can you stop? Thank you. If he sees his bestie outside, he freaks out, and I think that's what's happening. Huh. So this person, I didn't know that they weren't single, and I didn't care too much because I also was like, kind of in this open-ish type of situation. And I say kind of as in like we knew what the boundaries were. I'm just not going to explain it all here. But this person did too. And it was all fine and dandy because it was just more based on like physical interaction, which is just like, it was fun, but it was toxic. But it became really, really addictive too. And I began to realize that like I was feeling really drained, and understandably because I was talking to this person just all throughout the day, like constantly, and it was not leaving me with much energy for myself. I just could not even really function. And I was like addicted to this weird vampiric cycle that was just like dopamine, 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 like just like boom, boom. And just the conversation and the chemistry, the intensity of it. But I've learned since then that chemistry is not alignment, and that people can mirror you, and they often do mirror your energy. And yes, telepathy is real, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're only telepathic with one person. It's just opening your mind to your ability that you can and you are telepathic and you can be with strong connections. So, but it was all happening for the first time with this specific person, and that's why it was like really confusing. So I was like, okay, so this is like a twin flame. What the hell? Then this is like, okay, this is a false twin flame because, mind you, yes, I know there was somebody and I'm with somebody, but the things that we would talk about and the things that this person was saying to me was, I didn't know the term then, but I know now, he was future faking me. So talking about all this stuff, sounding like it was going to, like really going overboard and saying too much, like being too, we called it mushy, which, I love bug, like I love love. And so again, I was confusing love with lust, but there was something deeper than just that. It was like a really, really fiery connection. And we had also lived similar lives as far as like family drama and just incidents that had happened to us. It was really weird how like our lives had kind of mirrored each other too. So we just kind of started feeling like, what the heck is going on? Like, why the universe, why? And so months and months and months it took me of back and forth, trying to end it, trying to it was like, they had even said too, there was like all these red flags that I just kept ignoring. Same old story. That's the toxicity. But the red flags were like, I would mention like, wow, my energy is drained. And they would like talk very happily about, yeah, like, yeah, I have it. Like, you came to me. Thank you. And, like, actually, the twisted part, they were happy. They were like, yeah, I went to my partner too. And I was like, violating? Like, I felt violated because I was like, excuse me? Like, that's, huh? So that was like the first sign that I ignored. But it's a very crazy, like, spiritually, now that I know so much that I do now about protecting your energy. Big no no. Big red flag. Should not have let that continue. But it still continued. Because they were like in my head. I had been vulnerable with them. They had been vulnerable with me. I was on this spiritual awakening ascension journey. I still am. I always will be. And they were spiritually aware and skeptic, but not actively pursuing this. And so that's fine. We're all on different journeys, but there's not alignment there, because, and every time I would bring up this issue, and I wouldn't say even the words alignment, I would just be like, we want different things. Like, this isn't working. Definitely not working for me. Somehow they would, the way that they would say things, mind you, this is like a pretty decent person. I wouldn't have put up with like just a shit person, but I did put up with somebody who was pushing my boundaries and who was enjoying that and making the most of it and just taking. And like, again, talking about all the stuff that really got my heart entangled in something far beyond just like the physical. Like, I really felt this crazy soul bond. Like, I could not explain it. And I would talk to him about it, and just like, we'd always talk about it, mention it, dance around it, talk about it, mention it, dance around it. And it got so painful. It was always painful, but it just kept. And I just felt like he was picking me up off the shelf like a porcelain doll and dropping me when he was done. And I'd have to pick up all the pieces, put them back together, try to look perfect, try to look new, and try to look like, oh, I'm okay, like, not a big deal, it's fine. All so that they could like me. And at one point they even said, because like we had this like ADHD back and forth, it was insane, it was unhealthy. I will say that now. It was fun as hell, but so unhealthy. But at one point he was like, he had this comment about like saying that I was like a professional, and I was like, hold the fuck up. Like, right now I could throw my phone, I could drop my phone and throw my phone just thinking about that. Because I was like, I thought this was love. I didn't know I was performing for love so extremely that you had that freaking thought. I was just like, I was just writing on the potential of this person, instead of the reality. And I probably looked like I was love bombing, because I was really enamored with this person. Like, I really, not just their looks, and like their looks were great, really great, but the extra layer, I was just like, wait, what? We're like the same. What the what? And then we're also not, because I would say there's more of like an addiction to certain things on their end. And whereas I was facing those things and working through them and addressing the triggers. Like, he triggered me so freaking much. Like, the heartbreak triggered my childhood wounds of abandonment, which sucked. Really fucking sucked at the time. But you know what? Without that catalyst, I would not have learned that lesson. I would not have been able to deep dive into my soul and uproot the toxicity that was inflicting all areas of my life without me understanding it, without me, I didn't appreciate it at all. I just didn't know how to stop. So There's a lot of anger, I will say, with how I was treated because I think it was extra. And I also think energetically they held on and they probably still hold on. And it's not fun and it's not fair because I can feel that pull. But I just, honestly, guys, like I realize I lean on and I rely on my ancestors, my spirit guides. For my highest good, I rely on Source, my archangels. I'm like, I really do. I ask them, I'm like, Archangel Michael, bring the sword. Cut it. Fucking cut it. Cut it down. I'm in charge here. Like, seriously. Because you are. You're sovereign. You're in charge. And if you want better for yourself, you're going to get better. You just have to be very, very tough and strict about not letting people back in after you've already made the boundary. The you that they loved, that they lusted over, that they obsessed over, was the unhealthy you. And it served them, not me. It served them, not myself. So no wonder. Like, no wonder they're a little... But that doesn't mean anything to me anymore because I know I'm making healthier choices for the longevity of my soul and for my happiness and for my fulfillment and my sovereignty, and nobody can touch that. And now, like, what that's taught me is that, like, I did not want that love to leave me because I had already chosen to love them so hard. Excuse me, confirmation. And then what I realized is that that was the lesson for me to learn how to love myself harder than anyone ever could. Because Source, God, is wholeness. And we are created in that image of wholeness. So we have those tools inside of us. Do we have to swim through all the density and all the karmic cycles and break them down? Yes. But we have the tools within us to tap into our inner strength. So I'm asking you guys to be brave. Even though it's confusing, even though it's heartbreaking, even though it's triggering. I'm asking you guys to fully bake. You know, I feel like we've been par-baked souls for so long. And now we're getting the chance to reassess the dough and poke some holes and either totally restart the new batch, which is what I've done. Like from the ground up, I've been rebuilding my mindset and everything, and just recognizing like what's my energy and what's everybody else's projections, or siphoning, attempts, and just nipping them in the bud. That's the best advice I got from my ancestors. When I don't like something, when I find something that's not serving me for my highest good, nip it in the bud. That's how I deal with my animals. It's the most direct way to deal with people in this realm, and the universe responds to that authority. You know, when you claim what is deserving of your energy and what's deserving of your time, and you adhere to your own principles, your own truth, and you just walk in alignment with your truth, then the universe, everything does work for you. And I claim that all the time. I'm like, everything is working for me. Everything is working for me. And hoping the same for everybody. I hope this helps somebody, because I'll probably talk about that situation again in some other context, just because I've learned so much. It's all a part of the healing journey, and it's all about waking up to what you really know you deserve. So I just hope it helps. I love you guys. I think I've had pet hair on my face the whole time. Sorry. Okay, bye.